So, welcome back, everybody. We would now like to move ahead with our technical presentation part, where I'm happy to announce once again an already established name for the VPS series of events, Danny Molyneux, who supported this event from the very beginning in his role as session chair for the technical presentation part. Danny is a technical advisor with Quest Integrity, specialized in ultrasonic inline inspection with focus on challenging or unpickable pipelines. He got a master's degree in chemistry from University of Aberdeen and is currently member of the steering committee of YPPE, as well as member of the board of the PPSA and the advisory committee for the PTC. And I've learned that you have sun outside right now in Aberdeen, Scotland, something like 35 degrees, is it right?
Maybe Fahrenheit.
Okay. Okay. So, Danny, thanks for joining us again, and please, the floor is yours.
Thank you for the introduction, Dennis. It is my honor and pleasure to be welcomed back to this 4th edition of the Virtual Pipeline Summit, and especially one with a theme so dear to my heart. We have 5 presentations lined up, each in 20-minute slots, which will comprise of approximately 15 minutes of presentation and 5 minutes question and answer session. So please use the function on the web app to type your questions at any point during the presentation, and I will pose them to the speakers when their presentation concludes. So let me waste no further time, and we will welcome our first speaker. First up today, I would like to welcome Boris Boehm, BD Project Division at STREICHER Group in Germany. Boris is responsible for business development and equipment at STREICHER Group. He has a demonstrated 25+ year history of working in the global energy, pipeline and plant construction, and heavy equipment industries, as well as in the business and strategy consulting sector. Boris will present intelligent and eco-sensitive solutions to decarbonize your job site footprint. Boris, welcome to the Virtual Pipeline Summit. Over to you, sir.
Danny, thank you very much, and I will start sharing the screen, and let's overcome this first burden in this presentation. Well, from our point of view, this is not a question that only addresses to contractors. It does also address to clients, politics, engineering companies, and equipment manufacturers, and the buyers, and so on. And I'm excited that we do currently have a realistic chance that the eco-friendly practices will not only be spread for image reasons, but that they will also have an actually chance to take place. And why? And this is quite simple. The reason is that currently the industry is undergoing a technological change where the demand changes at the same time. So, if you now question yourself why somebody from the STREICHER Group shall be suitable to address to the topic of today's presentation, please do allow me to briefly name the different business sectors that we do cover with more than 4,000 employees in numerous locations. I will, no, it should go on here. Yeah, I will keep this part very brief and promise that this overview does not serve as a self-presentation. I simply want to work out that the different activities within our group do present us exciting challenges and job sites every day. The work within one of the main divisions of the business sector, pipeline and plants, and also within the sector of civil and structural engineering is more or less, in all cases, it has to be performed on job sites. And especially pipeline jobs are usually located in the middle of defenseless nature that definitely needs to be preserved directly and indirectly. And the facilities of our raw and construction materials sector are more or less equal to permanent job sites. Summarizing these 3 business sectors mentioned so far, we can state that the STREICHER life is pretty much about job sites. And next to these classic job site sectors, another core competence of the STREICHER Group lies in the field of mechanical engineering. This area deals, among others, with process and apparatus engineering, innovative drilling technology, and special equipment engineering. And it is our understanding that also all divisions of our mechanical engineering sector must deal with environmental safety right from the beginning of their developments. Sustainability directly determines in manufacturing itself. With all processes we use, our experience as a construction company and the possibility to develop and manufacture high complex equipment ourselves to create and ensure eco-sensitive solutions. But why do we address the idea of job site decarbonization? The answer is obvious. The need to protect Mother Nature is luckily not only on everyone's lips, it is undisputedly in terms of content. A corresponding ecological awareness is gradually coming to the fore among private individuals, politics, and companies. The need for action and possibilities for action exist on all levels of human existence. The responsible use of resources is essential if we want to preserve our planet. And our sectors and the energy, transport, and industry sectors are without doubt one of the largest contributors to the global CO2 emissions, and with the construction sector accounting to a significant goal. The requirement to decarbonize the pipeline industry is consequently undoubtedly mandatory. Here, of optimizing the ecological footprint of job site is still an underestimated piece of the puzzle. As mentioned, there are many influences that contribute to the CO2 output related to our job sites. Of course, the job itself has to be done, where a predefined result must be delivered within a specific time frame and budget. And hence, in the first step, it certainly is important to identify the drivers and causes of carbon emissions on the projects. The findings can almost be all divided into the following three CO2 producer groups. And first is planning logistics, then technologies to be used, and equipment to be used. Whereas CO2 calculators are available for ecological footprints of individual, unfortunately, there is no general tool that allows us to calculate the overall output and typical of complex pipeline job sites in one step. But the good news is that most areas are typical for pipeline jobs can be identified easily in terms of their emissions. In accordance with the German saying, Kleinvieh macht auch Mist, what compares to many pennies make a dollar, it is important not only to focus on the big picture, but also to look for small sources of CO2. At the bottom line, the saving on each individual job site does count. 2 slides earlier, we have identified those 3 groups that are typical for the emission related to job sites. Within these groups, it is worth looking for CO2 saving potential. The first group we have formed includes the task of planning and logistics. And here I only want to say that trials have shown that through an optimization planning and well-structured logistics, up to 40% of project duration can be saved, which automatically means that the CO2 emissions can be significantly reduced simply by keeping the construction site infrastructure available for a way shorter period. The second group, CO2 reduction through choice of technology, is about the technical methods to do the job. For example, an easy example is if you could dig your trench with shovels or would you use excavators. Another example could be whether to lay a section of a pipeline using the open trench method or using trenchless technologies. Using a carbon footprint calculation to compare trenchless construction with the conventional open trench method, consisting of opening the trench, transporting the extracted materials and backfilling the trench with new material, identifies amazing results. A significant reduction of more than 80% in carbon emissions is mainly due to about 90% less truckloads required, but also the much shorter time and need of excavation to dig trench and pits, resulting all this in a significant saving of up to 85% of diesel consumption. What is already known and accepted in private mobility, it now increasingly becoming found in the construction machinery sector, the electric drive. Electric motors are real alternatives to the tried and tested diesel engines and remain emission-free. If you question how much emission can actually be saved with e-construction machinery, for example, a 14-ton diesel excavator burns about 120 liters of diesel in a working day. In a year, it thus emits 32 tons of carbon dioxide. In contrast, the fully electrical counterpart of this diesel excavator runs completely emission-free. However, since on the market the available solutions regarding construction machinery do not always meet our goal of an extensive reduction of CO2 emissions, we at STREICHER have decided to close this gap by building some of our own equipment, which are, for example, powered by electricity, hydrogen, or fuel cell. Our practical experience and multi-layered competences assist in integrating the new technology into corresponding modification and new developments. Our solutions are summarized under a label that we call ecotec. In line with the goal of decarbonization, the ecotec label combines innovative technologies with forward-looking trends and, in its core, unites the aspects of resource privation, environmental protection, energy efficiency, and optimization of the entire energy circle, which finally helps to significantly reduce the ecological footprint. One of the first heavy equipments developed that does meet the demands of our ecotec label are, for example, our fully electrically driven horizontal drilling rigs. The ecotec certified HDD rigs, like the HDD 80E, can be described as future-focused equipment with the characteristic quiet, eco-friendly, safe, sustainable, powerful, and cost-effective. Our innovative rig concept, which has already proven to be a complete success in various projects, is largely fully electrically powered and can also be operated with directly electricity from a socket on a land line. In addition, of course, the ecological icing on the cake would be if the electricity used from the socket is supplied as green electricity. I don't want to get lost in all the amazing technical details and special features of our rig series, but would like to add that furthermore, the rig of course is very quiet, which in addition is a high level of acceptance in residential and natural conservation areas. Also has advantages for occupational safety and for its operators. The second realized and field-proven ecotec qualified machine from our range is our innovative remote-controlled welding tractor called Weld 150E. That also comes with a unique, eco-sensitive and special feature. One is that the use of the technology advanced electric drive system eliminates the need for a second diesel engine normally used on most pay builders. This results in minimizing the overall fuel consumption and CO2 emissions, as well as operating and maintenance cost. In this case, 150 kVA generator in the model 150E provides the power needed to drive the tractor, to power the welding sources, and to operate the crane. The electric drive system and the crane are operated with a single combined radio remote control. The general layout of the electric-driven tractor is based on a modular system that allows the unit to be configured for a wide range of applications. In addition to the remote-controlled model, there's also an electric-driven version that is equipped with a classical driver's stand, and that can also be operated in a more speedy manner than if you have to walk next to the machine with the remote control. But then, in summary, it can be said that the use of electric with other alternative-powered construction machinery in the major step to the necessary direction of decarbonization of job sites. Among alternatively powered equipment, electric solutions are already available in many areas. Units with H2 technology or fuel cells are still in early stages, but are definitely in the starting blocks. In addition of these eco-sensitive solutions, other approaches like, for example, the modernization of existing technology should not be neglected. Against the background of economic aspects and to save resources, and thus to improve our ecological footprint, we have, for example, performed a CE-conform modernization of the field-tested Komatsu D355C pipe layer which results in a new lifespan for this equipment of another 20 years. Some of the main advantages of this refurbishment, that is based on the eco-friendly idea of modernization instead of to declare something generally still good to be ready for scrap, are the emission reduction by replacement of the drive motor with the latest model, SCE certification of the entire upgrade, and the mentioned increase of lifetime. Of course, all aspects related to work and operating safety also brought up to date with our conversion package. Driven by our success with the previous development, of which we have just seen some, regarding intelligent and eco-sensitive solution to decarbonize your job site footprints, we are expanding our range of ecotec equipment and correspondingly certified processes step by step. In addition, we are developing further ecological improved concepts for and together with various clients, for example, in the field of off-road logistics, in laying technology with open and closed construction methods, and also with regard to innovative drive technology and construction machinery. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to give more details on these exciting projects at the moment, but for sure, as soon as it's possible, we will do so. Well, now I guess my time given is coming to the end, and I would like to thank everybody for your attention, and I'm looking forward to your questions and a nice discussion about the ideas, and would like to develop some ideas how we can together make all these steps identified to more practice and to decarbonize the industry. Thank you.
Boris, thank you. Really great presentation. I liked to see how STREICHER have taken the initiative to develop their own equipment, seeing the demand there. And I really like how you showed the ancillary benefits of decarbonizing by switching to electric heavy plants, like the noise, the safety, to the health as well of the people around. It's personally annoying to me to see a piece of heavy machinery just chugging away on standby, polluting and essentially wasting. So that's great to see. It's also one of your points about modernizing. It ties in with something I saw in the news here in the UK today, that the government will make equipment like washing machines in the household necessary to repair them rather than throw them away to get a new one. So I think that's another important environmental point. We have a question from Thomas Stark of Borealis. He asks, or he points out that it's likely to take some kind of mandate to get companies to embrace this change more. He says it's likely to pick up pace once clients specify limits. Do you already see requirements of clients specifying a max CO2 footprint in pipeline construction? Well, this is, of course, very important question for the future of all this. And as you remember at the beginning, I say it's not a question only to the contractors. It's a question that addresses to the whole system and also to the owners, to the project owners, and so on. And right, we have a feedback on certain type of construction areas in the pipeline and pipe casing business, where the project owners are definitely looking into this. This part, and for sure it will take its time, and it's only a step-by-step thing, but they are all excited, and especially when we are drilling, we have drilling projects, HDD projects for cable owners, electricity, and they are happy to install, to provide their energy by the socket, and we can directly connect the machines there. And they say, hey, this is exactly what we are looking for. And they really would love to give more credits in evaluation of quotes to this part. But they know that they can't do it from one day to the other. But they are looking in this direction, and it will happen. Yes. But it will unfortunately take a little time. But on the other hand, no company can change all equipment from one day to the other. Mm-hmm. So there will be more credit points in evaluation of quotes, for sure, within the near future already. And the ecotec equipment that you've developed, is that going to be available for other companies to use as well?
Yes, yes. It's a kind of funny. It's a good question. We have when we started to think about really structurizing the developments, we included everybody from the whole construction teams and all disciplines. And at the end, when things were ready, they said, "Hey, why do you want to give it also to competitors?" And this is all our advantage. And of course, we decided that it makes sense to make it available to other third parties also. Yes, it will not be our main target, but it is available, and yes, we make it available and possible. And we're happy to even work on further developments together with also with competitors, not only with project owners. Yes.
Okay. I think we have time for one final question before I let you go, Boris. It's from Derek McLean, who asks, how does the electric equipment fare in cold weather environments, such as Canada, where a large portion of pipeline construction occurs during winter months?
Yeah, this is an interesting question. The interesting part is we all have the experience that our mobile phone, when we go out and it's cold in the winter and we go skiing and it shuts down too early, and everybody thinks there's a problem on this, but this is not the real problem. It is possible and it works. There are no big limitations to this. The tech is that straightforward and advanced that it still can work. And of course, shall there be any problem, there's always a backup system available if there is should be a problem. But the experience says that we have no problem with the capacities for electrical equipment in cold weather conditions.
That's great to hear. Thank you for answering that. And thank you again for the excellent presentation.
Thank you.